11th Zoology, Chapter 1, The Living World, Part 1. In Chapter 1, we are seeing history of classifications. The history of classifications, we have completed cladogram. What is cladogram? And next, after the cladogram, continuations of that one, the history of classifications. Depending on the system of classifications, organisms were classified into two or three kingdoms. So, depending upon the system of classifications, organism means you know what is organisms. Organisms were classified into two or three kingdoms. Later, that kingdom into four kingdom. Three kingdom into four kingdom, then five kingdom, then six kingdom, and now into seventh kingdom. So, depending upon the system of classification, the organisms were classified into 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and now and into 7 kingdoms. R.H. Whittaker, 1969, produced 5 kingdom classifications. R.H. Whittaker proposed 5 kingdom classifications. The kingdoms defined by him were Monera, Protista, Fungi, Plantae, and Animalia. So these would have been studied in lower class 9 standard itself. Just you can recall. Based how he has classified this 5 kingdom, R.H. Whittaker means based on cell structure, mode of nutrition. Mode of nutrition means one method of nutrition. The mode of reproductions and phylogenetic relationship. Here the table 1 gives a comparative account of different characteristics of 5 kingdom. Just we'll see that one. Here this is the one. This table 1 they're giving 5 comparative study of 5 kingdoms here. The salient features, cell type, cell wall, then body organization, mode of nutrition. In that Monera, the cell type is the one prokaryotic, and cell wall is the one non-cellular structure, whereas body organization is the one cellular one. It's made up of cells. That is, they say as a cellular one. And methods of nutrition is the one autotrophic and heterotrophic. You know what I mean by autotrophic? The organisms which can produce their own food, that is because autotrophic. What is heterotrophic? The organism which can produce which can get food from other organisms. They depend on food for other organisms. That is because of heterotrophic organisms. The next 5 kingdom is the second one, Protista. Here the Protista cell type is the one eukaryotic. Cell type is the one eukaryotic. Cell wall is the one present in some, and body organization is the one cellular. Mode of nutrition is the one, same thing, autotrophic and heterotrophic. The next one is the one fungi, eukaryotic. Cell type is the one eukaryotic. What do you mean eukaryotic? The organism have well defined nucleus, that is because of eukaryotic. What is prokaryotic? The organisms do not have well defined nucleus, that is because of prokaryotic. Then cell wall is present, and body organization is a multicellular tissue, and mode of nutrition only heterotrophic. not autotrophic. Which one? The fungi. Because they always depend on other organisms for their food. The next kingdom is the one Plantae. The fourth kingdom of the Archaeopteryx. The cell type is the one eukaryotic. They have well-defined nucleus and cell wall present, and body of organization is a tissue organization. The tissue organ. What is tissue organ? The organ is made up of by tissue. That is, they say as a tissue organ. And mode of nutrition one autotrophic. They themselves they produce their own food. The next last one is one animalia. The cell type is one eukaryotic. Cell wall is absent. Body organization, tissue organs and organ systems. Then mode of nutrition is the one heterotrophic. So these are the five kingdom classifications of basic features. We can go back again into where we are discussed here. This is the one. The table one only we are seen now gives comparative account of different. Table one we are seeing the comparative account of different characteristics of five kingdom. And classifications has come a long way and now takes into an account even molecular level DNA and RNA identifications. So the classifications has come so many ways, long ways, and the account can be taken for the molecular level of DNA and RNA identifications. The advancement in molecular techniques and biochemical assay has led to a new classifications. What they say here, the advancements which takes place in molecular techniques and biological assay means tests has led to a new classifications. That classification is the one three domain classifications. So three domains classifications are based on the molecular techniques and biochemical assay. We'll see what is three domains of life. The three domain classifications were proposed by Carol Oof. Underline one word, important one word. The year of 1977, and his co-workers. So, and his one who works with them, they call as a co-workers. They classified organism based on the difference in 16 S, that's a or RNA. S means that's 16 S means represents the ribosomes. As S means sweet Bergs. Sweet Bergs one. That's a 16th S or RNA genes. So they classify the 16th S or RNA genes. The three domain systems add the taxon. Three domain system add the taxon. Domain is higher than the kingdom. So as you have learned in the lower class, kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, species. So earlier it was the domain is the one first one. Afterwards only the kingdom will come. That's what they say here. The three domain system add the taxon domain higher than the kingdom. This system is emphasizes the separations of prokaryotes into two domains. So this systems so giving more important the separations of the prokaryotes into two domains. That is bacteria, two domains, bacteria and archaea. Bacteria and archaea. And all eukaryotes placed into domain eukarya. All eukarya. All eukaryotes. That's what they say. Eukaryotes means, as I mentioned earlier, that organism have well-defined nucleus. They all put into domain eukarya. Archaea appears to have more in common with eukarya than the bacteria. So archaea is the one. They are some more related to the eukarya when we compare into the bacteria. So archaea and eukarya seems to be Similar one when it compares to the bacteria. Seems to be little similar one. That's what they say here. The archaea differ from bacteria in cell wall composition. So archaea is totally different from the cell wall composition of bacteria and differ from bacteria and eukaryotes in membrane compositions and or RNA type. What they say here, eukarya and archaea just seems to be similar when it compares to bacteria, whereas archaea differ from the bacteria composition, cell wall composition differ from bacteria, eukaryotes in the membrane compositions and or RNA type. We'll see one by one the three domains explanations here. So this is the three domains classifications. These three domains are classified, found by Carol Woofs, 1977. That's what they say here, archaea, bacteria, eukarya. Okay, let us see the given example here. Archaea, extremophilus, methanogens, holophils, thermoacidophilus. Just keep in mind these are the important term. While we go through these explanations of archaea, we should know what is extremophilus, what is methanogens, what is holophils. All these things just I'll explain in the domain archaea. Then bacteria, cyanobacteria, eubacteria, beneficial and pathogenic, and eukaryotes, protista, fungi, plants and animals. Just see we now first one, domain archaea. Domain archaea. So these domains includes single cell organisms. Single celled organisms. Okay, underline this single celled organisms. You can note it down as a point wise instead of learning. The prokaryotes which have ability to grow in extreme conditions like volcano vents, hot spring and polar ice caps. Hence it is also called as a extremophilus. Extremophilus. So what is extremophilus? This archaea organism can live to an extreme volcano vents and hot spring, polar ice caps. That is why it is called as extremophilus. Extremophilus. Just I'll show you in which what are the place do the archaea can grow. Just I'll show you now. So these are the place in this is a volcano vent. In this place archaea can grow, and this is also volcano vent. In this area the archaea organism can grow, and this is the hot spring. In this place also the archaea organism can grow, and this is the ice caps. So in these areas and at all the archaea can grow. Okay, they are capable of synthesizing their food without sunlight and oxygen by utilizing the hydrogen sulfate and other chemicals from the volcano. Here, from this volcano, they can prepare their own food without sunlight and oxygen. How they will prepare means by utilizing the hydrogen sulfide and other chemical volcano vents. This is important one. Just note it down. Take your textbook. Okay, here. So this is what we are seeing. They are capable of synthesizing the food without sunlight and oxygen by utilizing the hydrogen sulfur and other chemicals from volcano vents. Some of them produce methane. That is they call as a methanogens. That's why I told you earlier from the beginning is we have seen the classification in that methanogens. One word you might have been seen. That is the meaning of producing of methane is also methanogen. And what is halophilus? A few lives in salt environment. The organisms which live in the salt environment they call as a halophilus. And thermoacidophilus, they live with acid environment, acidic environment with a high temperature. That is we call as a Thermoacidic phyllis. Thermo means heat, and acid means acid. So the organisms which live in the acidic environment at a high temperature, that is we call as a thermoacidophilics. Take your textbook, just underline important and important. Just go through what you have discussed today. Learn. If you have any doubt, you can contact me. Okay, bye. Take care.